You never know when they're going to change the game on you. Get rid of the mitts. Give everybody a pair of toe socks.
Like reverse soccer, or not soccer. I don't know
It's
why I was thinking.
real soccer now with a K.
Sucker.
Hey,
I'm trying to imagine throwing a ball with your foot.
we didn't sleep at the end of the last one, right?
Oh, no.
Okay, double checking.
My cats are screaming. I can tell it's going to be a fun night.
I just want to say ahead of time that I came up with the title of this episode a long time already, days and days ago. So that it's not reactionary in any way to anything.
This is getting concerning, Dave.
Yes, it really is.
This is episode number 53, and the title of this episode is The Funeral.
Oh man.
Huh.
What the hell?
Apropos of nothing.
Uh-huh.
And that's honest, the honest to goodness truth. That has nothing to do with anything else.
Uh-huh.
Last time was a turf war, more than anything, but not the typical kind of turf war that you might expect between two groups of people who are fighting over resources or over land in some way. It was massive birds fighting large tapirs, essentially, for a nesting ground. And the way that all shook out for our party is that they got very upset and did not choose sides and really didn't like anything about what was happening. A lot of weight got placed on the shoulders of one Kriv Avarax, who was the one capable of speaking with the animals, and said Kriv Avarax was not having a good time being responsible for making the decisions on who was going to live or die.
I think it's fair.
You know what? You got to get used to making those decisions. I make them all the time.
Ultimately, what we landed on is, while we didn't have necessarily a positive outcome for either the axe beaks or the lightning beasts, ultimately the goal, at least as far as your new companion Gideon was concerned, was protection of a nearby village. You got involved in the conflict in the first place because there was a young boy being accosted by a lightning beast. And Gideon wanted to help that boy and the other people that he lives with. And that you did do. And Shell did some weird stuff, but we don't need to talk about it. You get back on the raft, and you've got this boy with you. His name is Hihi. He's just a little Omni boy. Gideon wants to take him back to his village. But this is your journey, and he is just he's just working for you. He's kind of like an employee at this point. So he's leaving the decision up to you. You can take Hihi with you for a certain amount of time and then just leave him, have him make his own way back to the village. Or you could tell him to get off the raft now and go do it. Or you could escort him all the way back there. It's really your decision.
Couldn't Shell kick the little kid and we just left instead of me? You never thought about that?
It's possible, if you want. Now, Armstad's not the leader of your group. I don't think really.
I wonder why.
We could make an argument for a lot of different people
why.
being the potential leader of this little party. But I feel like Armstad would be the hardest sell. The de facto leader is Hajite, though.
That's a no-go, buddy.
So are we saying that we want the bird to kick a child off a raft? Is that what you were suggesting?
No, I was out of character. Just saying, why couldn't just kick the kid out out of the raft instead of me, and that would have made things easier.
You know what's not going to make it easier? When you get infected by whatever's in the river.
Hey, we've all been there, so I'm not the only one.
We've all been there. Infected by a river. um,
Uh,
what do you think?
Gideon, do you know how close the boys' village is? You're the one with knowledge of the area.
He says it's not far away, but it's not built directly on the river, so we'll have to travel inland a bit. It's almost time to leave the river anyway.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
If everyone's satisfied with that, you will have to journey down the river for a little bit longer to get there. But Hihi wasn't that far away from his village. He's still young enough that he has to stick pretty close by, or his parents get mad at him. So you go down for maybe another hour or so, and then the frogs will place the raft up against the river, and this is likely where their leg of the journey is going to end. They have not been the most talkative bunch, especially one of them who can't speak very well at all. So they haven't really gotten close to anyone. They don't have anything to say as you disembark unless you have something you want to impart to them before you go.
I will hand each of them a gold piece, and thank you both for taking us this way. It means a lot to us.
Oh, it's no problem. It's our job.
I'll just give kind of a nod and head off the raft.
All right. They'll push back out, and since you were traveling upriver this whole time, it's a lot easier for them to get back to Mizzou because the current kind of moves them in that direction. So they pick up their posts, their pontoon push poles, and just kind of place them up on the raft, and then they just kind of lounge there as they move a lot slower than they were before, and just kind of casually drift down the river. You'll see the taller one, the one that's been speaking to you most, pulls a little piece of grass out of his pocket that's seated on the end. And he just kind of pops it into his big frog mouth and sort of masticates on that for a bit. Puts his hands behind his head and kicks his big old feet up. And then just slowly and lazily drift all the way back down. So the hardest thing that you're going to have to deal with traveling through the jungle, Gideon knows how to move through all this dense underbrush. And Shell, obviously you've seen Axbeak's here already. She's not native to this continent. She's a different sort of Karenian regional Axbeak. But she's close enough that she might be able to sort of adapt to these different surroundings. That horse is not going to work right. And it's really a shame because Ghost has been with you so long. Arvistan purchased him way back in Karenia when you first left, when you all first met each other. And he just really has not been very useful at any point. We've had to go through desert
He
where
has
he was
been.
not.
He's been taking all our stuff and carrying it, so he has been useful.
He carries stuff, but in the sense of no one's ever. I guess you've ridden him at some point.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, some of us riding him during the sandstorm, running away from the judge.
Mm-hmm.
He's not an exceptionally good riding horse. And you've been finding yourselves in more hostile environments than Ghost is really accustomed to or built for. And now, that doesn't mean he can't come with you. It just means he's going to have a pretty hard time through the super humid jungle, and you're going to have to move a lot slower in order to accommodate him as he goes through. There aren't trails or paths really cut out for a beast of his size.
Oh.
Well, the alternative is leaving him in the jungle to get eaten, so I don't know if I like that.
Could leave him with the frogs
No.
and have them take him back to the coast, back to Mizzou, if you wanted. But Gideon's not telling you can't bring him.
I would choose to send him on his way back to the coast, but I will leave it to the rest of the party.
Why did we bring him this far? We could have just left him there to start with.
We actually didn't think that it was gonna be this tough for him. That's why.
What? No, this was mentioned many times before.
Arvistan really likes Ghost and wants him
I
to do everything all the time.
Look, Ghost is a horse. That's a horse. He's a horse. Horse can't go through this. He's suffering. And he's very skittish. Because we ruined him a little.
If you go somewhere where it's very flat and cold, he's going to love it. That would be a great place for Ghost. This is the opposite of that. You really can't get further from a Ghost's ideal environment than the one that you're in right now. It's the most inhospitable place for this horse. Even the desert that you were advised not to bring him into would have been better.
And we didn't bring him there.
No, we did.
No.
You really didn't.
Oh, so there's a different
no,
horse?
that's right.
And
No,
we
no,
didn't have
no.
a horse. They were camels.
Oh, that's right.
They were
That's
camels,
right.
Yeah. His goes stay with Roper
The deacon,
goat.
yeah.
Yeah.
The goat, that's it.
Roper goats.
Yeah.
I'm not telling
Alright.
you can't bring him. I'm just telling you this is with the situation that you're in.
Aristana, it's your horse.
He's like a big Clydesdale horse.
You do what you want to do with your horse, but he's a horse. Yeah.
All right. I turn around and talk with the. Wait, the frog guys already left, or they're still there?
They started drifting, but they're moving very slowly. They're going with the current of the river, which isn't very fast.
I'm like, hey guys, stop there. Come back really
Oh.
quick, please.
Well, something else to say?
Hey, yes.
You parting words of wisdom for us?
More of asking a favor. But I'll pay you for it though.
Well, what do you need?
You think you can take my good old buddy over here, Ghost,
Which
back
one's
to
Ghost?
this big white horse right
Oh, the
here?
horse. I was wondering why you had a horse out here.
Well, he's our companion. He goes.
I don't know if I've ever
almost-
seen a horse before.
Well,
Seems
now you
pretty
have,
weird.
right? But he's awesome.
Truly a magnificent beast, if I can say so.
Yes, sir. He really is.
Really incredible.
Yeah. But anyways, the favor was if you can guys take him to like a stable back at Masud.
Stable?
Yeah, like stable him there and take care of him until we come back.
Well, how do you take care of a horse?
You just give them water and hay and you're good. That's
Hey.
it. Yes.
Oh, all right. How much?
I'll give you a gold coin.
Oh, how much hay?
Just leave a bunch of them and he'll just eat
Bunch
enough.
of them? How many?
A lot.
A lot?
Because we don't know
That's
how
almost
long we're
more
just
than a
gonna-
bunch.
Yes, a lot.
A bunch of lots?
Yes.
What does that mean?
You'll figure it
How
out.
much water?
Lots of water.
Lots?
Yeah.
You drink seawater?
No seawater.
So
Just
you drink
regular-
the water from the river?
Regular river water.
This
Not
water?
from the river. No, not this one.
Not from the river?
No, not from the river. Not from the river. It's regular drinking water that everybody else drinks. That same water.
Well, how you drinking a lot?
I mean, you just have to put like a bucket a day.
A bucket? What size bucket?
Hmm.
I really need better instructions here. I'm trying to.
Let's
I've never had
see.
a pet before.
Let's
I'm not really sure how to take care of something like this.
let's say a
I don't
bucket
know how we've taken
your
care of them.
size.
My size?
Yes. Or
How
similar
as
to
big
your
as I am?
size. Yes.
A giant bucket. Wow.
Yeah.
And he drinks that one every hour?
No. Every day. Every day.
Every day?
Yes.
Well, I could drink that much water in a day. He's a lot bigger than I am.
Yeah. He's good. Just take care of him.
Hmm.
Just keep an eye on him, and if he's missing some water, just pour him a little bit more. If he's missing some hay, just give him a little bit more.
Hey,
Stuff like
Where do I get all this hay from?
over there at the stable.
Can he
They
eat flies?
maybe.
Maybe.
I haven't asked him. Like I haven't had a conversation with him. I've only given him hay and some water. That's it.
Hmm. Well, I hope he doesn't die while we're taking care of him. I had to take care
Uh,
of my cousin's plant once and it didn't make it.
no, well,
I
better
gave it
not
a
let
lot
it
of
die.
water.
Good. You're not gonna force give him the water. He's gonna drink it itself.
All
hey,
right.
hey, Arvistan,
Yes?
wasn't Ghost in a stable while we were staying there?
Yes, he was. That's why I'm trying to like guide him to go to that place and take him over there
Oh,
and leave him over there.
well, you
Yeah.
guys were in kind of a pricey place.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can afford to put him there.
How much did we pay for that place? Can anybody remember?
It was 2 gold a night for a room.
Hmm. Hmm.
Trying to stable and a horse can be expensive.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or you could roll the dice with the frogs. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do necessarily.
I think the frog's got it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think he could do it. He killed a plant, but
Clearly gunning for a specific amount of water required for the horse that he has not acquired. So he does not know exactly how much. A lot to a frog might be different than a lot to an elf who lives underwater. no, no one has any idea.
Yeah. Can you guys just take care of him? Can you guys take care of him? Just give him water. Hey.
Arvistan, why don't you give them money for, like, food?
That's what I'm trying to offer, but that just
1 gold? It was 2 gold for a room.
Griff, you're not helping.
Do you want a horse?
How long are you going to be gone?
I'm not sure. Here, 10 gold. Here you go.
10 gold?
Yes.
Well, 2 gold a night. I hope you're back in 5 nights.
Hopefully.
It's taking us like 2 days to get here.
See, Griff, you don't help much.
What?
I don't know why that's their fault. The math is hard.
I'm not
You,
trying to be greedy. I'm just trying
Oh
to
no no
make
no no!
sure
You're
that
not. You're
everything's
not
taken
being
care of.
greedy. But
Arvistan, you chose to bring a horse across the ocean to a jungle.
I never heard anyone protest or refuse
We're just
about this.
ferrymen here, and I don't make a lot of money. I can't make up the difference if there is one.
just give him 100 gold.
You got 100 gold?
100 gold?
I wouldn't. I'd just use whatever we needed, and then you could have the rest back when we see you again.
Exactly.
Here you go, 20 gold.
Is that what Ghost is worth to you?
10 days.
You guys are not helping.
Gideon, about how much longer is it going to take for us to get to Tempe?
We should be able to reach the fortress in a couple more days. But how long negotiations might last, the ceremony we'd have to go through. And then I don't know what the Empress will require of you once you speak with her.
Ceremony?
Yes,
I think he more means like song and dance kind of things, lots of bureaucratic stuff, not necessarily like an actual ceremony, unless I'm mistaken.
red tape, the sorts of things that you have to do when you're dealing with people in this position. There's a lot of proper placement of people. We have to say some of the right things. Stuff takes time. Otherwise, I'm sure the government in Karenia would have just sent a bird with a note tied to its leg instead of a diplomatic envoy.
Giving a rough calculation, how long do you think it could last?
Until we return to Mazout,
Yes.
I'd say
Just a
anywhere
rough
from
calculation.
somewhere in between maybe 7 and 30 days.
So that would be between 14 and 60 gold for you, Arvistan.
Could go longer. I don't know. I'm not a diplomat. I'm not sure exactly how long your visit's going to take.
Alrighty. Alright, here you guys go. 60 gold. Take care of the horse. We'll be back.
All right. Whatever you say.
Thank you.
Does it bite?
No, it doesn't bite.
Or is it poison?
It's not poison.
Okay.
He's healthy. He's not gonna harm you.
Um,
And if you want a big hug, he'll let you hug him.
oh, he won't shoot his quills?
Hopefully not.
Okay. Well, I'll be careful.
Yes, very.
And then that frogman, his name's Hops. They'll take that. They'll take Ghost back onto the raft. Ghost, is very blasé about this whole thing. Arvstan is very close to Ghost. Ghost hasn't really given any indication that he's super close to anyone, but he's never been anything but hospitable towards all of you. So there's no reason to think he doesn't like you.
I just give a big hug to Ghost and just pet him
He
a
doesn't
little
hug
bit.
you back. He doesn't have arms.
Yeah,
so
obviously.
he's not really
And
capable.
I'm like,
horses can show affection in some minor ways, but he doesn't really do anything
yeah, I just
exceptional.
give him a big hug and pet him and like, I'll be back soon, buddy. I'll be back as fast as we can.
Okay. He doesn't really know what that means either.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you going to be back here?
Why
back
has
with
Ghost
him, I
never
guess.
Spoken to Ghost.
Huh?
You might have. I think you might have spoken to Ghost at some point.
No, I have.
Very
I
little to say.
have actually not. I
Not
was
yet,
thinking
Crib.
about it right now.
I'll look through my notes, don't you worry.
But yeah, they'll take Ghost onto the raft. The other frog guy is there. His name is Croak. And he's just kind of like being a little grumpy gremlin about this just taking too long. Taking too long to leave. He's trying to get back home. And so, Hops is like doting over Ghost as he gets him back onto the raft. He's trying to pet him, but he's also like extremely cautious because he doesn't know anything about the nature of horses or like what kind of animals they are really. So he kind of thinks he's more familiar with the axe beaks, like Shell, and he thinks a horse is kind of something comparable to that, which is like an extremely aggressive predator. So he kind of thinks that like Ghost may kill him. He's trying to be as appeasing as possible. And then they'll get back out on the river. So Hops is way less relaxed as they set out this time. And just sort of taking care, like very cautiously trying to pet Ghost. And he's got like these webbed, slimy hands that he's gonna like putting like a little coat of slime on Ghost in this spot as he's petting him.
Oh boy.
And they go along. Croak has like a stick that he picked up, and he's just kind of poking in the water as they float back down the river.
I was about to say poking Ghost. Like, why? No.
Ghost has gone with some weird people.
They just tie him
Yeah.
to the raft and have him pull him downstream.
He actually might be cooler that way.
I know that that was a difficult decision for you, but I have to say I agree. I'm not really sure why you had the horse with you at all.
You know, you could have said something.
It's not my place to
I mean,
impose on you. I was willing to help you with the horse if you needed it. I didn't know if there was some special reason that you had one, like a comfort horse. Or if you,
it's more because
some
he's
sort of
been
medicine
traveling.
for you.
He's been our companion, and as well, you know, like
Long time, I'm sure.
yeah, and he carries our stuff as well sometimes. Well, most of the times. So you know,
You
he's
don't have
been with
all
us.
that much stuff to carry.
Yeah, I feel like he's a part of me, you know. But it's okay. I'll see him soon.
If you're ready, we do have a child that needs to get returned to his family, if that's okay.
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
a child. That's yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm just wondering if you're all right with that. I wasn't going to hold up the journey for you. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay.
I'm okay with that. I guess you have to talk with our leader about it, Hashite, and see what she decides. If you haven't
But
already, you know.
we've already been over that.
Okay, I was just
Want to
with
make sure
Ghost, you know.
that you're up to speed with everyone else.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Right. And Hihi will be the one that leads you through this part of the jungle.
Oh, buddy.
To take you back to his village. And Gideon will follow right behind him. What's the marching order past them? We've got Hihi the boy, Gideon the hero, and then the rest of you. You've got 2 animals still left with you. You're probably going to be moving single file.
I can go, I guess, at the front of ours. So I want to look at a bunch of animals and stuff as we walk, and I need someone to make sure I don't zone out. It's accountability if people are behind me.
I'll be last behind with Ghost next to me.
Ghost is not there anymore.
Oh my god.
We just spent a lot of time establishing that Ghost is gone.
Did
We
you
talk so much about Ghost. I meant Luna. I got it in my head. Ghost.
I will be right behind Kriv.
Okay. With Hazute just in there.
In there.
And Shell also.
Behind Shell, probably.
All
Gotta
right.
keep an eye on the bird.
It's a short trip through the jungle before you get to the village. It's like a small kind of clearing. They've made enough space for really, it's more like 4 or 5 huts that they kind of have here, and it's not much more than that. You don't think that they have like commerce or anything like that. It's kind of just a little group of people living in one spot. And as you get there, in the center of all of these huts, they have like a table set up, and it has palm fronds covering it. And laying out on the table is a elderly Omni woman who has perished.
This is awkward.
So as you arrive, most of the other families are outside of their huts. They spend most of their days outside, but they're all sort of preoccupied with this woman on the table as you all show up. And they sort of turn to look. Hihi rushes over towards his parents. They're not too perturbed that he's taken so long to return. They didn't know how long he'd be gone, but they're not helicopter parents. They were willing to let him be gone for as long as he was going to be. He's supposed to have come back with something, and it seems like he hasn't done that. But as he's explaining to them, they just kind of have their little conversation with each other. The other people are very interested in Gideon as he arrives. They seem to know who he is. They know his name. He does not seem to know them. But he treats them cordially. As they all rush over towards him, they're saying, Gideon Lagoon, you've graced us with your presence. I can't believe that you're here. What an honor. And you say, it's to see you here at my mother's funeral. It's a shame that she couldn't be aware of this, but I'm sure wherever she is now that she's grateful that you've come. Little kids are climbing on him. They like grip on little bits of his fur and like climb up on his back. And he like leans down to make it easier for them. And he encourages them to use his mane where he has a lot longer fur and to get an easier grip. And so they're climbing up around on his head. And if they get up really high, he starts to kind of like shake his head back and forth, and they scream and laugh as they kind of get tossed around like that. And he'll say, what was her name? And they'll say her name was Namenth. She was never a super important person. She was never really someone whose name was on everyone's lips, but she did live her life the way she had always intended to, and passed as happy as a person could. We're sad to see her go, but we want her to move on, knowing that we're going to move on also. And Gideon will go over towards the body, and his sort of respectful movement in this moment is to stand there silently and sort of look at her for a little while. What are the rest of you going to do?
I would I'd probably follow suit, but I'd stand way in the back.
Yeah, I'm just standing next to Ravi and just do the same thing as Ravi does because I've never seen anything like this before.
Are we doing any ritualistic Freyr funeral rites, or are you going to forego that for a different culture here and just let them do whatever they're going to do?
I would forego that.
All right. Kriv, anything special you're trying to do at this tiny village funeral?
Well, I was gonna try to stay with Gideon, but probably like in a weird, awkward, not next to him, but not as far back as my friends.
It's all right. There's not going to be a not awkward thing to do when you're at
Yeah.
a funeral
just
for
gonna-
a very close-knit village and you're just some outsider.
Yeah, I was gonna like follow him, but then realize like everyone's freaking out about him, and then maybe not get involved in that.
You could get like closer to him than everybody else is, but not so close that he you're like standing next to him or anything.
Yeah. I want to
Um,
be close enough to like hear. Very curious.
a lot of other people are gonna try to crowd like very close to where he is. Hajite, anything special
No,
to do at this point? Just kind of.
nothing spectacular.
All right. I mean, Shell's gonna uh, attempt to break into someone's house. Because
Smart.
they're very kind of flimsy huts. They're not built to withstand anything other than a rainstorm. So an axe beak can pretty easily tear that down.
That's fair. I'm gonna lead her away from the houses. Food.
Do a little animal handling check for us
Sure.
as you convince Shell not to be herself right now. It's not the
And
appropriate
there
time.
goes a finger.
I am gonna use food though. It's a good
Oh,
motivator.
hey, to not break tradition, don't forget to hook up your laptop.
Use hay. A lot, I hear, is the appropriate amount.
Hey. 18?
18's pretty good. Yeah. Shell, you're going to have to handle her while everybody else is sort of focused on what they're doing, because she's like a toddler. She's like in constantly trying to get into something that she's not supposed to be into, and she does not fully understand the gravitas of the situation. So she doesn't really care about what everybody else is doing. Luna does. She's very well behaved, and stays right by Arvistan's side the whole time. Villagers will have like a procession of sorts. You think kind of like when people walk past a casket to pay their final respects. The difference here, and this sort of strikes Gideon as well as the rest of you. I'd actually have everybody make a religion check just in case.
Wait, what do I need to roll? Sorry.
Religion.
13?
Also a 13.
13 and a 10.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Uh, a 5.
Okay,
Ooh.
so this is not the most religious group. We do have a cleric who has a certain amount of familiarity with his own religion, but you don't have a lot of knowledge about any of these other ones around the world, especially not in Mochipa. You're not really familiar with what's going on. But what strikes everybody is that Gideon doesn't really understand what they're doing either. As they're heading up towards the body, each one of them is bringing a sort of offering, like a gift. And they're placing it next to the body on this table and then heading off. And the common theme that they're bringing, you'll see one brings up a sort of slab of meat that's already kind of gone black and green and is covered in flies, and they just kind of place that next to the body. Another person, a young woman, brings up just a big, rotten, like moldy gourd, and she'll put that on another side. And as each of them goes through, they're all bringing rotted food and just sort of surrounding the body with it.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab a piece of like dried food that I have and just go over there and just put it down next to the other running food and just back up.
Okay. Yeah. As you do that, as you back away, one of the villagers will put a hand on your shoulder, just like a comforting touch. Um, and it would that serves as a sort of acknowledgement of what you've just done.
And I get next to Ravi and I turn around and tell him, like, hey, Did I do well? Was that okay?
They didn't seem to take offense.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Everyone else just going to keep in your current positions. You see that kids aren't too perturbed by the body in the middle of the village, and some of the littler ones, smaller than Hi even, are climbing up onto Gideon's back and braiding his hair.
I would not make any movements.
Okay, Kriv, make a perception check as the person closest.
Braided hair, Robbie, drawing incoming.
Not braiding Robbie's hair.
Oh, it was Gideon's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Climbing on Robbie. 16.
Okay, Kriv, you overhear a hushed argument. Some of the adults in the village have made kind of like a little huddle off to the side, not far away from where the body is, but not close enough that it's like part of this little gathering. And they're having like a hushed discussion, and it seems like it's getting heated. You can't make out exactly what they're saying. But yeah, there's something going on over there that they're upset about.
Are they like, look, I don't know how to phrase it better, looking at anything, like at us or towards the body,
They're
or
looking.
just.
They're just talking to each other. You could see that they're maintaining eye contact. There's nothing around that they seem more focused on.
It's tricky. I don't know. It's not my business.
Is there anything you want to do with that information?
kind of keep an eye on it, at least. If
Do
they
you
keep.
tell anyone, or do you keep that to yourself?
Well, if I can, I was gonna say if it's been like another minute or so and they're still like, at least not getting like more calm, maybe probably go to Robbie and try to like point him. He's the one who is the comforting one of our group. I don't know what's going on here. We've seen a lot of weird conflict, and I feel like I have a poor judgment for what's bad conflict and what's normal conflict anymore.
Does Gideon seem disturbed by this at all?
He hasn't noticed yet.
Okay.
It's just Kriv and Ravi that know at this point that there's a little argument going on. You could ignore it if you wanted.
I would probably try to take a winding circle kind of towards them, but try to not be too like obvious about it. Like I'm just kind of walking around observing the village as a stranger, rather than like beelining for them.
Okay. Let's make. So you're kind of heading over there, trying not to alert them that you're about to eavesdrop on them.
Yep.
This is. I'm going to make 3 checks, all right?
Okay.
We need to roll perception, deception, and stealth.
I'm good at a couple of those. All right. So in order, first is perception, and that'll be a 21.
Okay, so you could definitely hear what's going on over there.
Deception is not bad. That's a 15.
All right, and they might not be onto you.
Stealth, however, is a 9.
Okay, so they know you're walking over there. that's where you've kind of screwed up a little bit. So it's pretty obvious that they notice Robbie walking around, and that he's heading over that direction. But he's been coy enough about, sort of looking at the buildings, and sort of, inspecting clothing items and like certain things around to make it seem like he's, I don't want to say tourist. They're not. They don't have tourists. They're not big enough.
Ignorant.
That he is an ignorant outsider that is just trying to figure out what's going on with this village. So they're not super perturbed that he's around, and they don't suspect you of anything. As you're wandering close by, you'll hear it's 3 Omni gentlemen who are arguing with one another. And one of them, it seems to be the youngest one, he'll say, I went last time. I'm not going to go again. You got to pick somebody else. And one of the older ones will say, it's going to take more than one. You're going to have to go either way. I said, it's not fair. Just because you're all old and weak, you can't do it. I shouldn't have to be doing this every time. Why can't we get somebody else? We can get Hihi or something to do it. And the third one will say, listen, we can't keep arguing. It's got to get done now. Sooner better than later. The longer we wait, the worse it's going to be. And they kind of bicker like that as you listen to them.
I would probably wander back and stand next to each of the party members, and starting with Kriv, because they're the first one I talk to. So it seems that they are arguing about going to do something, probably something that they had sent Hihi on, not, whatever he was doing before he got scuttled up that tree. None of them want to do whatever it is, but I have no idea what's going on.
We bring him back to another dangerous situation?
I don't know if they brought him to a dangerous situation or if we brought him back to a place where he might have to do something dangerous. I don't know. I admit, if it wasn't for the fact that we're in the middle of a funeral, I probably would have just walked up and talked to them, but to interject in the middle of a funeral doesn't feel quite right.
Should we ask Hihi? Did we ask what he was doing when we found him?
I did not. I don't know if anyone else did.
Gideon's the only one that spoke with him.
Is he just being a jungle gym right now still?
Kind of. The kids are losing interest, but he's comfortable. He's like a big fuzzy teddy bear, kind of. So some of them are just kind of staying on him because that's where they wound up.
Do I see Hihi?
Yeah, he's not. He hasn't hidden himself. He's preoccupied with his parents, so he's not climbing on Gideon with some of the younger children. He and his folks kind of like paid their respects, and they're kind of getting back to their daily routine.
Do you want to tell the rest of the party what I told you, or do you want to go talk to Hihi?
Well, I think I might ask Gideon. I know he sat with him a little bit.
That's a good idea. If you want to talk to him, I'll talk to the party.
I'll go see. Maybe he knows what he was doing. Maybe we're being dramatic.
Let's talk to Gideon, Kriv. What do you want to say?
Just gonna try to be really like chill tone.
All right, chill toned. We've got that established.
I don't know.
What are we saying in our chilled tone?
Hey, Gideon. Did Hihi mention what he was doing when we found him?
Well, I didn't think to ask. He seemed like his life was in danger. I didn't want to interrogate him.
That makes sense. Is there I guess, do you know if it makes any sense for him to have been out there? I know you know the jungle.
Well, I don't know what exactly he'd be doing out there. He is, a boy. I don't think it would be anything other than exploring, taking minor adventures, a little bit of independence, maybe.
That makes sense. I don't know, there's just some people Ravi overheard.
Overheard.
Yeah, they were arguing. If I can, I might like vague gesture. I don't know like how far we are. Too awkward to just like point and be like,
You gesture over towards the people who are arguing. Uh,
like,
Gideon looks over at them, and then he stands up and walks over there.
oh, problem solving. I respect it. Let's go.
Robbie, what are you saying to the rest of the party while Kriv talks to Gideon?
Hey guys, just an FYI. Group over there seems to be arguing about doing something dangerous. Maybe that's why Hi was out here. Not really sure what they were doing. Just that they were like, "Hey, somebody's got to go do the thing." So,
And does anybody know what Hi was doing then? Maybe something that they were trying to do.
Kriv went to go talk to Gideon. So, Hi had been talking to Gideon. So maybe they'll have an answer when they come back.
Okay. I mean, if not, we can. Whenever they come back, we can just talk to Hi if that's okay, or just straight up and talk with them and see if they need any help, because it might be something that we can help them with. I don't know.
Do I see Gideon heading over at this point?
Yeah, he marches right over towards that group. You can see that he is not subtle. He does not make deception or stealth checks to head in that direction, so they notice him right away, and they actually stop arguing and turn to face him as he goes over there.
I think we're gonna get our answer soon enough anyway.
Okay, I see that. Go Gideon.
We seem to be finding more things to do before we would actually go and do the thing that we came to Mochipa for. I mean, it's most likely just their culture.
I mean, if it turns out to be nothing, great. We can just kind of be on our way. I get the feeling that, from what I get of Gideon, if this village is in danger and somehow, we will be enlisted to help. Or at least requested to help.
What if? And don't freak out. But what if they were stealing the lightning beast babies?
If they are stealing lightning beast babies, we got a big moral quandary. But I don't know. I don't think Gideon's going to be too up in arms about it.
I mean, if they're the ones causing the problems with the lightning beasts, then they should deal with the lightning beasts.
I mean, I agree, but it didn't seem like that from what we found out from the Axe Beaks.
Kid was hanging out by him. If he lives here, he would know more about them than we would. Maybe not to go near a hostile one, especially one that was looking for her baby. This is seeming a lot more likely, actually.
I don't know. He was very, very young and seemed a bit surprised by the whole thing. But you could be right.
Maybe we should talk to Hi. Maybe they wouldn't want to tell us some things if they think we might intervene in whatever their activity might have been.
I mean, let's see what Gideon has to say first, and we can make a decision from there. Unless you can do it now while he's busy.
I just think kids are more likely to talk.
I mean, they revere him, though. Like, did you see the reception he got?
Yeah. Yep.
So I'd like to think that they'd be I don't know, knowledgeable or know what he would like.
Maybe. Unless they feel bad about what they're doing.
Shame is a powerful feeling.
I'm gonna walk over there.
Are we walking over to Hi, or are we walking over to Gideon?
I want to listen to what Gideon's saying.
All right. You walk over there. He's mid-conversation. He's already talking to these people. As you head in that direction, Hajate, you didn't see the argument before necessarily, but the people seem relaxed a little bit as you head over, as they're talking to Gideon. And he says, we are on a mission of utmost importance, but a minor detour like this shouldn't be too much of a hassle. I give you my word. When I speak with my companions, I'm sure they'll agree that we could see this done for you. Here's the leader now, Hajate. I was just speaking to these fine folk. It seems that the woman here needs to be transported to a different place for her internment.
Okay.
Might be a little more difficult than the village is capable of handling right now, so I was hoping that we could offer our services transporting the body.
Where does she need to go?
You'll see one of the villagers will pipe up. He'll say, it's not far from here, maybe half a mile, just out into the jungle. It's where we take all the bodies.
Why are you unable to do it now?
It's not that
That's
we're
when-
unable, it's that we've got work to do, and Gideon's here, and it's not far from the direction he said he's heading in anyway.
To just take a body with us?
We wouldn't be taking it with us, we'd be taking it to where it needs to go, and then depositing it.
How long is this going to take?
It depends. Do you all have a shovel that we could use? And they'll say, we don't have one that we can spare.
Are we doing a full burial?
Is that not what you do with your deceased? Bury them and mark their graves?
That would depend on how wealthy you are.
It's yeah, that's why we take them far away from the village. Just returning them to the jungle, really.
So you don't bury them? You just leave them there?
You can see Gideon kind of goes silent for a moment, considering that. And then he'll say, Hajate, will we take her?
I'm gonna look at the rest of the group.
When she looks over, I would probably walk over towards Hazote and Gideon.
I mean, they don't have enough manpower to bring this woman out further into the forest to as a final resting place.
Why did you all seem so scared to do it earlier?
I'm not scared to do it. I'm just... I always have to do it.
I'm gonna make an insight check.
All right, go ahead.
And why?
19.
All right. He does always have to do it, and he is scared to do it.
Is there a reason we should be afraid of heading out to this direction?
I think you'll be fine. Just we can tell you how far you need to go. Um, leave her there and be on your way.
Whether or not we'll be fine is irrelevant. I asked if there were any problems that we might face on our way there that you seem to be apprehensive over.
It's the jungle. There are always going to be problems.
Hmm.
Um, why are they so hesitant when they talk about taking the body to the forest, deeper into where they're saying that we have to take it? Is there something scary out there that you guys don't want to, and that's why you guys were having a discussion? Because I don't see why you guys, like a group of young people, can just take it, and it always have to be just you by yourself, and nobody else wants to. There has to be something around here that you guys aren't telling us, and that's why you guys were discussing this.
Gideon will speak up in that discussion, and he'll say, if there's something dangerous, I want to take care of it.
If there's something dangerous, I want to be prepared to deal with it.
Yeah, don't take our questions as a sign of apprehension, at least not on my end, but it is much easier to deal with something if you know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Make
my
a
point.
plan.
The trees will take her.
What?
I'll look at Gideon confused.
He'll look back at you kind of like, maybe it's a metaphor. Or...
I will look at the gentleman.
We don't stick around long enough to really find out, but as long as we take him out there, then they'll leave us alone. Well, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's the trees.
Why do you put rotting food on your people?
Just in case. She's not enough.
Are you afraid of an attack from the trees?
Lady, we're afraid of attacks from all kinds of stuff all the time.
Is there a check I can make for, like, haunted trees or something?
to discover if there are maybe some kind of weird trees out here with ghosts
Yeah,
and
like,
stuff in them.
Just some kind of like folklore or something that might give me an insight as to what it is that they're talking about.
Do you have nature as a proficiency?
Nope.
Do you have... I'm trying to think of what we could do to know about their culture. Maybe history?
I don't know. Would I do it? Nope. I can just make...
You could do nature.
Yeah, I'll make a nature check.
See if maybe there's something natural that you might be considering this is.
I don't think so. It's a 7.
No.
It's illogic to me.
Yeah. I have had history.
You could try it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a long shot because, I mean, this village is one that Gideon's not even familiar with, and he's native to this country. The rest of you aren't even from here.
Can I try? Because I have history, and legit Crib's thing is looking up weird stuff, even though there's like a 90% chance nothing.
12 is a little bit.
12 is a little bit better. So Ravi doesn't think there are haunted trees,
Aw.
but he has, until recently, not really left the city. And then he did go into a forest that was cursed. So if there could be something like that going on, we already know that that's something that's possible. Hajite, with your history check, you don't know a lot about Mochipa. You know that the jungle has been a dangerous place and that people have been lost to it and not had the reasons disclosed. So sometimes people go into the jungle and don't return, and nobody knows what happened to them. But usually it's assumed animals or starvation, dehydration, that type of thing. Diseases might have taken them out. So you don't know exactly what it could be either. So maybe ghost trees.
Maybe. Whomping Willow. Gotta be.
Kriv, you could do the history check if you'd like. You do look up a lot of weird culture stuff, but your entire life was destroyed for Arvistan, so a lot of that might have been lost then.
Don't worry, I still did better at 15. You'd think the nature would be better, but it's not. The history.
You should think the jungle is a dangerous enough place, and you're thinking a lot about the same kind of stories that Hajite is thinking about, where people would go out in the jungle and they'd be lost and they wouldn't return, and that most of the time what people would say about them is that something natural happened. So by your reasoning, or your assumption at least, you would think it's probably not a ghost. Um, Probably whatever it is that they're trying to appease is like some sort of naturally occurring something.
Or it's a cover up.
Or it's. Your history doesn't tell you it's a cover up. Maybe your regular thinking brain is suspicious of people and thinks maybe they're lying to you.
I wanna lean in real close to Robbie and whisper.
All right, extra quiet.
Extra super quiet. Hey, so if they're making sacrifices to like some bigger deity thing, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be sacrificed. Okay? Like, I don't need to be that extra addition to the meal that they're already providing.
I mean, sure. Part of me thinks we should try to figure it out.
We've seen a god.
Exactly. Which is why this isn't nearly as dangerous.
It might be.
The issue you're running into right here is that it's not the villagers that you need to convince. It's going to be Gideon.
Well, I mean, at the very least, we can take out the body. If it's already on the way, we don't lose anything by it.
Fine. Another detour. It's fine.
Hajite is opposed.
I mean, unless you got some other way to get through the jungle by ourselves.
No, we're gonna end up going on crazy adventures with Gideon. We might as well look good to him, I guess.
That's the spirit.
Might as
And I'm
well
gonna give her
look
like a pat on the back.
I understand. Where are you at with all this?
I am against it, but I mean, most of everybody already said that they want to go, so I'm just gonna go
It
with
seems to
them.
me like most people are saying they don't want to.
Most of them said they don't want to. Okay, but yeah, I'm totally against it.
They don't want
Yeah,
to.
no, I'm totally against it. Like, we don't know what type of creature we're going to be dealing with, and serving those dead bodies as sacrifice, so it doesn't come over here and eat them or something like that. I don't know what's the situation, but this is sketchy as hell, and I am not liking it. And I bet you there is nothing that's gonna change Gideon's mind.
On one positive note, if that guy's been doing it for a long time, he has come back over and over.
True. That is true. But as well, he has said that it's been by himself. So I don't know if this all of us going that's gonna rattle whatever it is down over there and gonna complicate stuff.
Out of character, didn't they say they were gonna send Hi to do it? How?
They said they needed to send more than one person too. They very clearly said that, and Ravi was able to hear that it's not a solo attempt. The young man was complaining that he's always one of the ones that has to go.
Just send the baby. It's
Essentially,
fine.
they need people that can carry this body.
Now, has anybody seen the creature or whatever it is?
That's all I talked about was the tree.
Yeah,
It's
but
the
just
trees.
the tree moving. But there has to be something manipulating the trees.
Doesn't need to. Are you not part living tree artisan?
I
They
mean,
also didn't
yeah,
say the trees move. They say
but
they abandoned the body
remember
of
the
whatever
Enchanted
happened.
Forest, the
Yeah.
trees were connected with the magical deers that they made it stop so we could have a safe passage. So that means that something is managing or is able to manage these well. Something is like able to manage these trees as well. So that's why I'm saying there has to be something besides the trees.
I'm not
I mean,
really sure what you're getting at. It does not make me not want to go.
Gideon, if this is too much to ask, it really is our problem. We can't impose this on you.
I'm fine with doing it. We have seen a lot of oddities in our travels, and we're trying to determine what level of oddity this is.
It's fine. We're going. We're already going. We've decided.
I would love to go.
Um, Gideon will ask who is going to help him carry this woman.
I don't know
It's not that
how.
he's not strong enough, it's that it's a weird, it's you're like picking up a stretcher, essentially.
I will help.
Okay.
Just watch our backs.
Oh boy.
All right. Um, so you'll get some basic directions from the villagers on where you need to go. They tell you, kind of like a straight shot in one direction. You've got to go like half a mile. It's not super far to get to
But
the place that you're supposed to be going to.
not one of them is going with us.
No, they're trying not to go.
Is it like afternoon?
Right now,
Or,
yeah.
okay. It'd be worse if it was like, oh, it's conveniently getting dark right now. Okay.
I'd say we should take one of them to guide us, and they'll feel more protected with us.
I don't think that's necessary. I mean, Gideon knows the forest well enough, and if we have one of them with us, and if something should happen, that gives us one more person to try to corral and protect.
I say we still ask Hi what he was doing.
You're welcome to. I mean, he's around. If you wanted to go over and talk to him.
I
Do
do.
it.
All right. What do you say exactly to Hi?
Well, hello, Hi. I just have a couple questions to ask you if you don't mind.
What? What?
I'm just curious as to what you were doing out in the forest when we found you.
I was fishing.
You can be honest with me. I won't tell anyone.
You look back at his parents, who are very nearby as you're talking to him. and then turn back and look at you and say, "I was fishing."
Hmm. Do you want to come meet my bird?
No.
She loves, loves
Smart
children.
kid.
What about my wolf? You want to meet my wolf? She's
Okay.
pretty playful.
Shell will let you pet her. She loves kids.
You can keep the terror bird. Um, I'll talk to your dog. What's her name?
Luna. Her name is Luna, and
Hi,
how sh-
Luna. And then, because this is an entire Omni village, they're not like pets type people. So they sniff each other.
see, she's pretty nice. She's
I
really
want,
playful as well.
She's
I want to
pretty.
be clear that the dog is away from the parents.
Not right now, but that's something that you could make happen if you wanted.
Yeah. I'd say, you see, grab that stick there and toss it to Luna, and she'll bring it over for you.
You see, Hi will pick up a stick and then throw it.
I say, Luna, go catch it.
She will run off, grab the stick, and bring it back.
I toss it again, and you'll see how fun it'll be when we meet her halfway. She'll jump over you.
Make a
She'll
persuasion
jump
check,
over you.
Arshan.
Oh God.
How fun it will be if we meet her halfway.
How
A
fun.
persuasion? Oh God, -2.
How fun it will be.
That's a 17 -2. That's 15.
That is so much better than I thought it was going.
Doesn't make it.
uh, well, Hi does not believe that it will be fun, but he's willing to give it a try. He's reasonably certain that it's less fun to play fetch with yourself, kind of.
Arvistan, have him give her something.
Okay.
Over
Um,
there.
Here, come with me. And I take one of another piece of jerky, and
Oh, Luna's jumping on you.
yeah, she's like, "Oh, Luna, okay, come down, come, move over there. Let's not startle all the people. Come over there
She's
and
way
give
too
it to Hi
dramatic
Hi."
for the funeral.
And I tell Hi Hi, like, if you tell her to like sit down and roll over stuff like that before giving her a treat, she'll do it.
You hold it. I'll tell her.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Sit down. Does she? She's not gonna listen to Hi. She doesn't have the food.
I'm like,
Okay, yeah. She immediately follows your instructions when there's treats involved.
yeah.
Did
You
I
see,
do that or did you do that?
Oh no, you did that. You were the one that told her.
Okay, that's deception.
Fuck. What's deception?
That's probably also a -2.
Fuck. Yes.
Oh boy.
Nah. That's a 2.
Yeah, you did not hide your hand signals very well.
Wow.
I was stretching. All right, here. You want to feed her?
It's weird for me.
Okay, I understand. And I give Luna the treat, and hopefully, like, signal Hashate to come over and keep questioning the
Your
kid.
signals.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your face?
Oh, it itches. I'm a half
You're
human and
scratching.
half tree. It's just a weird sensation
You've
and
got
feeling that I
hands, though.
got.
You can just. Could
Yeah,
scratch on it.
I understand, but it's just everything is weird with me. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll get it'll get over with.
I'm just like I know what he's trying to do. I'm just watching.
You're just being a dick at this point.
Hey, hi. I just we saved you from the lightning beast. I just wanted to know what happened to make the beast so aggravated.
The one that was attacking me,
Mm-hmm.
I saw her kids when I was out, and she got mad.
What were you doing? Did you get close to them?
I wasn't even there looking at them.
What do you mean?
I didn't expect to see lightning beasts. I got surprised.
What were you looking for?
I don't want to say.
Are you sure? I won't talk to your parents. I just need to know what was going on. That's all.
I was out there yesterday and I saw a pretty snake. And my parents told me that if the snakes are really pretty, that you should leave them alone. But I thought it was so cool and I wanted to see it again. I feel really stupid now because obviously the snake wouldn't be there anymore. It would go home. But I thought maybe it had come back. It seems dumb.
It's not dumb. Snakes are very cool.
It was a lot of colors, like red and yellow and black. It was really sweet.
That sounds like a really cool snake,
It was
but
really cool.
I hear stripy ones.
It was really stripy. Yeah, my parents told me
Mhm.
that's like really bad.
Just wouldn't want you to get bitten.
I'm not as scared of snakes though.
You shouldn't be, but respecting, just like you expect animals to respect you.
I wasn't gonna grab it. I was just gonna look at it.
That's fair. Were you not paying attention? That's why you ended up around the children of the lightning beast.
Or you don't know a whole lot about lightning beasts though, right? Because you're from somewhere weird.
Are they quiet?
Yeah, as soon as you see the babies, whether you pay attention or not, mama's around can get you.
I see.
I didn't expect it because they're not supposed to be by the river.
All right. Well, thank you for
Hey,
talking to me.
hey, just real quick before you leave,
Hmm?
don't tell my mom and dad that I was looking at a snake like a stupid little kid.
I won't tell them.
Maybe if I was like 9, but I'm 12. I'm way too old for that.
I won't tell them. And we won't tell them that we had to save you from a
Okay,
mom.
because they'll get in real big trouble, and I'm not trying to do that right now. I got a lot going on. I'm real busy, and I cannot get in trouble right now.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. You really got your life put together right now.
I've got it. I think I've got most everything figured out. It's weird that grown-ups have such a hard time because it seems really easy.
You're right. It's a lot easier than all of us make it out to be.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a weird. I don't know. Maybe like in that whatever weird place you guys come from, like it's different. But around here, all the grown-ups are always like, "Oh, you gotta listen," but it's whatever.
All right. Well, I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, no.
Case in point, yeah.
Yeah,
It's real easy to know what to say. You say, yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
You know what you're doing.
What, yeah.
But I'm not a rat, so I'm not going to tell your parents.
No, you're not a rat. That's true.
Yeah, I'm a snake too.
You shouldn't call yourself that. You're an omni too.
Okay.
Snakes are snakes, and you're a person.
Yeah, but you know, you don't like being compared to animals.
We're people.
I know.
I mean, people are animals, but we're people. We have thoughts and stuff.
Well, just so you know.
So when I say we, I mean you and me too. Like you too.
All right. You can go about your busy life again.
Oh yeah, because I have a lot to do.
I'm sure.
Run off.
Children.
Not all children. Some of them are weird.
Preteens.
Those are the ones, yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys.
That's Gideon and Ravi picking up the woman's body on the stretcher, and they're ready to start taking it and heading off. Gideon will head up front. He gets kind of like strapped down. I get strapped over his back with the front poles. So he can walk and face forward as he's moving, and then Ravi's picking up the other end just with his hands. What order do you guys want to be in heading back into the jungle away from the village? Gideon's willing to go up front unless someone else wants to do it.
I can.
All right. So Azrate, you'll lead this your little group of diplomats, I guess, out into the jungle. You don't know exactly what direction you're supposed to be heading in. Gideon assures you that this is close to the general direction you're supposed to be going in. In the jungle, you can't really tell north from south or anything like that. You're just not experienced enough with it. But I'll have you make a survival check just to make sure you're heading in the same direction the whole time.
Oh, nat 20.
There you go.
Nice.
Hajite, as if she was born to this place, treks over. You can see she's not even like stumbling or tripping on overgrown roots or anything. Her foot placement is impeccable. She almost glides across the jungle floor, which is kind of surprising because she's from a place that's very different than this. Kriv, you can see that while you're struggling, you're surprised to see that Ajite is having such an easy time heading through. And Gideon leads you kind of, Ravi, and you have a hard time just because you can't see your feet and where you're going. And you have to kind of keep pace with this guy who's more at home here. But you eventually make your way out, maybe about a mile, as far as I said. Gideon will tell you that this is how far you were supposed to go, but you don't see any indication nearby of what it is that you're looking for. If there's any specific thing that you're supposed to be seeing. If you'd like to try to take a look around and figure out what you're trying to say, we could just get a perception check. Anyone that wants to roll is welcome to do so. If you don't want to look around, then don't worry about it.
Ooh, a 3.
Which one did you say?
Perception.
Perception. Well, that's a good one.
We're looking around. We're looking for any indication of where this body is supposed to go.
24.
24.
I got a 7.
A 7. doing well so far. What did Arvisan get on a perception roll?
17.
17. All right. Kriv with the highest roll. You are the most observant. You take a look around. What do you want to look at specifically? So we're in a jungle, of course. So you got trees and vines and ferns and stuff all over the place. But most of what you're looking at around is just fauna. Is there anywhere in particular that you'd want to focus your attention?
Probably kind of alternate between looking like at like tree roots and like whatever lowest level of like branches there are. I'm imagining that's still like a way above us, but like if someone tells me trees are taking people, that's what I think would be the moving
Right.
parts of trees.
You're looking at roots. You're looking at branches on these
Yeah.
trees around here. You're thinking those look grabby. Those look like fingers.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to get us. Okay.
Try to see if there's like animals just being normal or like weird moving.
You don't
If
see
that
any animals
Yeah,
as
that's
you're looking around, which is weird in itself. The jungle should be heavily populated, but you guys aren't making any stealthy moves going through it, and a lot of things would clear way if they heard a large group like this moving through. So it's not super unnatural for the animals to disperse as you're coming through. As Kriv is looking around, Ravi, you and Gideon will put the old woman down. Place her down on the floor. She stays on the stretcher. She still has all those offerings surrounding her, that rotten meat and rotten fruits and things. Put her down and kind of get yourself stretched out a little bit. You get soreness in your shoulders from having carried a dead body for half a mile. Gideon doesn't seem to be any worse for wear, and you're not really either. You just kind of have to stretch, get things moving a little bit better. Kriv, you'll notice as you're looking at the roots and at the branches that there is an awful lot of sap coming out from one of these nearby trees. And you're surprised. It's like you think a tree that would get damaged would be draining a lot of sap, but you don't really see anything super visible. Just coming out in between little creaks in the bark. I'd have you make an insight check.
$17.
Okay, it's moving faster than sap. And as the sap is coming out of the tree, you can see that the tree is like cracking wider to make room for the sap to come out. So you're standing about 10 feet away from this tree looking at it, and the sap just kind of comes. It's like starts just kind of oozing out in a sort of slow, like syrupy, and then it's like pouring as it comes out. What do you want to do?
I want to do what I always want to do.
What's that? Turn into a bird and fly away?
No, I'll stop if, like, I guess I am behind other people and somehow, hey, stop a second. I want to speak with plants is what I want to do.
Cast the spell, speak with plants.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at that. See how much we can actually do.
There's a lot of words on this spell card. It also has a page number I need
Plants
to look
within 30 feet of you with limited sentience and animation. So you can talk to the plants that are around you.
Gotta give it a shot.
Okay. This will allow you to talk to any plant within 30 feet of you. And you're in a jungle. So, like, almost everything around you is plants.
I wanna.
Sap oozes out of the tree and starts pooling up towards the base of it.
Just want to look at it and go. Are you who we're bringing this for? Oh, I didn't think how to word that right.
You say that to who?
I'm gonna look at the tree. I don't know how you choose a plant, so I'm gonna just look at it.
Okay. You look at the tree. The tree will say back to you, "Run."
Oh. Hey guys, that tree said we should run.
Why are we looking at a tree?
Run from what? Or why?
I'm going to get my mace and shield ready.
Criv, how do you answer them?
Why should we run?
The tree will answer, because you're faster.
Than you or someone or something else?
Than it.
Hmm. What is it?
The tree will say, "Look."
Uh-oh. Well, look, I guess. This feels like a trap, like the tree doesn't want me to look at it anymore.
Where do you look, Criv?
uh, Probably just super generally, like in a circle around us, if that makes sense. Just turn in a circle.
Sure, make another perception check.
Can I look around like a sheep because I saw them do it?
You can if you'd like.
Sick.
I think 23.
Oh, never mind. Don't need to.
Criv, you look around. You see trees and trees and trees and trees. You do that kind of look in a circle all around you. You're not sure exactly what it is the tree is telling you to look for. And then you said 20 something?
23.
23. You're looking up because you're thinking something's climbing around in the branches, right? Or the tree's branches are going to do something crazy. And then you think, on a second thought, I forgot the roots are also something I was concerned of. You look down, and that sap has pooled up around you, and it picks up. It's sort of like lifts up like little mounds next to you. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
I found goop friends, you guys. 10.
13.
8.
10.
Damn.
Gotta do Shell
We're very average.
and Gideon. Okay. So I got 13, 2 10s, 7,
8.
8.
Not that it makes too much of a difference.
And that was Kriv with 13.
Robbie.
Ravi with 13.
Yeah, I got 10.
10 for Kriv and Arvistan. I'll have Arvistan go before Kriv. He's supposed to be faster. Even though he has not proven that. Okay. Unfortunately, your foe is the first to act.
As always.
As it goes, you notice that there is more than one. Another one has come out of another tree nearby, standing probably about 20 feet away from Arvistan. By standing, I mean pooling in just like a little puddle on the ground. This thing rises up, kind of like just like a little tendril of goop next to you, Arvistan. or not Arvistan, next to Kriv. And that goop reaches out to try to smack you.
Is it cute?
Is it cute? I'll have to make a little charisma check for you.
Thank you.
Let's see, that's a -5 on its charisma, but it did get an 11. So, kind of. It's kind of cute. It swipes out at you. You kind of step out of the way so it doesn't hit you necessarily. But you can see that it's like kind of amorphous and it's like changing its shape. It's created like a 3/4 circle around you on the ground. There's still a little bit of space where it isn't. The other one sort of just like quickly shifts itself over towards Arvistan. This kind of like pool of sap goops along the ground. You can see it's rolling almost like lava. The whole thing just kind of moves in one little blob. And then it extends out and tries to like hurl the front part of itself to strike at you, Arvistan. And it is going to hit you. You are going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. In addition to that, you're going to take 16 points of acid damage. Now, that's a total of 21. That leaves you with 46 hit points. Now, what kind of armor are you wearing, Arvistan?
Leather.
Okay.
How much health you said that I had left?
46 points still, according to my calculations. Just lost 21. As it hits you, that sap you can feel is exceptionally acidic. You can see it sizzling on your clothes. You can feel it bite into your flesh as it does. It's burning you with like a tangy, definitely not a sweet maple syrup type sap. You take a permanent -1 to your armor class. Your armor is partially destroyed.
Oh my god.
Then it is Ravi's turn.
I only see one of these creatures, correct? Or do I see two?
You can see two. One of them just hit. Cribs made it known that they're under attack by one of them, and that one's not being super subtle. And then Arvistan just got hit by one. And it was you can hear it sizzling away at his clothing.
Probably because I would hear it sizzle. I would summon my spiritual weapon right next to it.
Sure.
And then try to do a slice it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. Just double checking. I think you know exactly what I'm double checking. You hit. Your spiritual greatsword cuts into this thing. You can see that it just kind of like beats part of it into the ground as it strikes it.
That'll be 10 points of slashing damage for DR-related purposes.
That's force damage.
Oh, is it force damage? Okay.
Yep.
All right, then never mind.
See, he knows. Anything else from Ravi? You're not really close to either of these little pools.
No, I think that'd be it for now.
Okay. Arvistan, you are right next to this puddle of sap, and it just hit you and dissolved part of your armor. What do you want to do?
That's a tough one. I mean, there's nothing that I can do to it. Like, arrow's not gonna do anything to it. It's a freaking blob or daggers, and if acid, it's gonna melt it. So, honestly, will it have an attack of opportunity if I move away? Since he just like reached.
Yeah, but you could use your action and disengage to prevent that if you wanted.
Yes. Wait, action to disengage?
Yeah,
Oh.
unless you could do a bonus action one. I don't know if your Ranger Revise lets you do that.
Not that I've read.
Okay, I know rogues can do that, but I
Yeah.
don't think Rangers can.
Fuck.
Unless you wanted your action for something else. Or you could stay
Yes,
there.
I do. I do want my action for something else.
I mean, you're just risking getting hit. You're not necessarily going to.
Yeah. How far is Gideon from me?
He's not far away, probably like 15 feet.
I'm gonna barskin myself since I lost armor.
Okay, brings you up to 16, right?
Yes, sir. And no, there's nothing else that I can do. Fuck. Why does it have to be a blob?
Why?
Yeah, no, there's spells, nothing. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there, and for Luna, I'm gonna tell Luna to run towards Gideon.
Okay. Luna can get over to Gideon without any problem. She doesn't want to do mess with the thing that just burned you with acid because she doesn't have that's her mouth. She's not about it. So is that it for that's it for both of you? Kriv
Yeah.
will be next. So Kriv, this thing's trying to encircle you. It has not succeeded just yet, but it is very close to you.
Yeah. Um, I was trying to think. I had some cool things that don't make as much sense. I think I gotta go with your idea for last round, Dave, and turn into a bird.
Turn into a bird?
I'm not gonna run away though.
Okay. You're going to
Is
turn
that okay?
into what kind of bird? We've got a lot of options.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Um, let's say. Oh gosh. We're gonna have to go with my gut and go giant vulture.
Giant vulture is really big. Now I'll warn you. I'll warn you of this before you decide on that. You are almost encircled by this blob of sap um, as a medium-sized kriv. A
I,
giant vulture is much bigger than kriv.
that makes sense. That's not how I was picturing that. That makes more sense.
A
I don't.
regular-sized vulture might be what you were thinking.
I guess I don't. That works if I'm not just sticking myself.
You could turn into a standard vulture if you'd like. That won't be so big that you stretch out into this thing.
um, am I allowed to change that because I forgot how big birds were?
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems right. Yeah, no doubt. No, because you didn't know the size category of a giant vulture. What does a giant vulture mean? That could
I
be
was
any number of sizes. It could be as big as Godzilla. We don't know.
I think my brain was thinking, I want to be a bird, therefore I'm picturing it just going around my feet, which means bird is the answer. I was making it the answer. Okay, okay, okay,
You,
okay.
yeah. I mean, turning into a bird wouldn't like suck you up into like where your head is, and you're like mid-flight, and then you take off from there. Like you're going to shrink down into a little bird.
Why not? Okay. Um, um, I would like to. Okay, I would. I'm gonna try my cool new bonus action, Dave. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I would
Okay.
like to try to push it away from me with my brain.
All right. What you're gonna have to help us with that. Kriv is going to use a little bit of electronic storm-guided telekinesis.
Josh said I should call it microburst.
Try to use a puff like a microburst of wind
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
to like shift this thing away.
it's like a super strong downdraft. I have a whole article from him about it. Anyway, um, so it's within the 30 feet. It's a strength save.
Strength save for this thing.
Yes, so
Is
it
that
is.
against your spell save DC or against something else?
It's against a DC. Let me double check it. I wrote down the math, which is the thing I'm bad at. Okay.
It rolled a 15.
Well, that's rude. Yeah, I think that's a 14. Is it 8 plus 6? Yeah, that's unfortunate.
15 is one bigger than 14, so it's going to save on that.
Well,
It was worth a try.
it was. We're gonna go on ahead and do the smarter action because that's actually only a bonus action, which is super fun. I would like to cast Protection from Energy.
Protection from energy. I think that's a new one for Kriv. Am I wrong?
It, but I can pick to be less hurt by acid.
Less hurt by acid. That's a good pick.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. So you cast it on yourself to prevent, to give yourself some resistance to acid. You're now resistant to acid and lightning.
Yeah,
So you're set either way on that.
lightning trees.
Are you happy with your current position? Or do you want to try to move?
Can I back up? I'm not sure.
Moving away from this thing is going to provoke an opportunity attack. If you're willing to risk that, there is an opening that you could move through.
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
Okay. You can get that opening is in the direction of the rest of your party. If you want to get in and group with everyone else, it is going to try to hit you as you go. It has rolled a 17 to hit, which is going to hit you.
Beam.
You are going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and in addition to that, you will take 24 points of acid damage. Now, because you've cast yourself resistance, protection from energy, that gets reduced to 12.
Oh, good.
So 5 and 12 makes 17. You also take a -1 to your AC as part of your armor is dissolved.
You said that's minus 17 total?
Yep.
Okay.
And your AC drops to 12.
Yep.
All right. And you regroup with Gideon and Luna and Ravi and probably Hajite somewhere nearby, though. But not Shell. She's off on her own. Hajite is next.
I'm gonna use poison spray.
Poison spray. Okay. What are we targeting? So we've got two of these piles of goop. One of them was recently surrounding Kriv, but is now just kind of off on its own. The other one is right next to Arvistan.
The one right next to Arvistan.
Okay. Poison spray is a con save.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be a failure. So go ahead and roll your damage. And that's poison damage, right?
Yes.
It works.
Sick. $15.
Okay, 15 damage. See, Hajite hisses out a spray of poison towards that blob next to Arvistan, which you haven't seen done in a while from Hajite. She hasn't really pulled out that old trick. And any time she has really hasn't been the most useful thing, but it's extremely useful in this case. And really hurts this thing. At least you get that impression. It kind of shrivels into itself a little bit. And kind of like rolls with that poison infecting it. I had to get kind of close over there to do that. Not super close, but you had to move over. Do you want to move away from it again, or do you want to stay relatively close to it?
I'll move away from it again.
Okay.
It doesn't seem high speed, but enough.
Shell is next. Shell is going to regroup with the rest of you, particularly Hajite. She's going to stand very close to where Hajite is standing. And then it will be Gideon. Now his is an interesting case. I think at this point, Gideon will say, I've seen these sorts of things before. Don't touch it.
Mm.
I know you're all magicians, but my weapons are useless now. I hope you've got enough to hold them back. We might have to flee.
I like that idea.
And Gideon, he's wearing armor, and he has his family sword. Both of those things can be damaged by these, and he does not want to damage them unless it's the utmost urgency. And he says he's somewhat familiar with them. You don't know exactly. He can't tell. He doesn't have enough time to tell you everything that he knows. But he doesn't look like he's going to attack them with his sword. He stays with the rest of the group, and then we go back to the blobs. There's a blob next to Arvistan that's going to try to thump him again. He's standing there. He's probably going to be fine. Nope. Turns out he probably isn't going to be fine. You get hit again. This time you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage and 13 points of acid damage for a total of 22.
That leaves me at 24.
Now, I'm going to make a call right now and say that because you have that bark skin up, normally that acid damage would dissolve your armor. Because you put the bark skin up over yourself, that sort of takes the brunt of that. So instead of it eating through and dissolving your armor, it just dispels that bark skin on you.
All right. Whew.
The other one is going to move forward. Rather than attack someone else in the party grouping, it goes towards the body of the woman that you brought with you. You could see it sort of pass over that offering of rotten meat that is next to her, and just kind of like engulf that. And you'll see there's like a mound where it sort of goes over it for a second, and then it just quickly sizzles and dissolves into nothing. And it's Robbie's
That
turn.
was sorry. That was which one? The one next to me, or
The other one. The one
the
that
other
was
one.
next to Kriv that Kriv ran away
Okay.
from.
So how close is Arvistan to me, and how close is the other ooze that is not attacking? That's devouring the body. Like, how far away from them, respectively?
Well, you didn't really make much movement to move away from the body after you put it down, so that one's right next to you. I would say between 5 and 10 feet from where you are right now.
Okay.
The other one is probably about 20 feet away where Arvistan is.
All right. So, I'm going to cast my Spirit Guardians.
All right.
With the party being selected as the unaffected members.
That's a good call. Don't want to cut them up.
I do not. So the speed of a creature within 15 feet of me is halved.
Yes, and they are already not fast.
And they have to make wisdom saves.
At the beginning of their turn, correct?
I think when the creature enters the area for the first time, so I guess if I cast it and they're in the area, does that count? Or is it only if they are outside of the area if they're supposed to cast and enter it? I'm not sure.
It says it enters the area for the first time on a turn. So I would say on their turn if they
Okay.
enter at that time.
And then I will move towards Arvistan.
Okay, so you're kind of splitting the difference.
Correct. So that way if he's trying to retreat, it has a harder time getting to him. And then I will attack the one that I was attacking previously with my greatsword.
All right. Freyr's magical greatsword.
That's a 27.
The most clutch party member, secret party member. Nobody talks about. Does all the fighting. Robbie has a weapon.
I've used it like twice.
It's ceremonial, really, more than anything. 27 is definitely a hit.
Yeah, that's 17 damage.
Okay. That'll be it for Ravi. It'll be Arvistan next. So, this thing's beating you up.
Yes.
It's a pile of sap. I mean, you fought scarier things than this. Come on, Arvistan.
I have nothing to use against this thing. My daggers will melt. My arrows will melt. I got nothing. And now I want to move, which I should have, but I can't because I might just die right there on the spot again. All I have left is hopefully barskin myself again and move away.
Okay, so your bark skin has just recently been dispelled. You use an action. You cast the spell on yourself once again. You're growing this bark. The bark that you cover yourself with is different than the bark that you're already partially made out of. It actually looks a lot like the tree that this thing just crawled out of. And then you go to move away from it.
Wait a minute. It's
going to make an opportunity attack on you as you're moving towards the rest of your group, right? Or
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's going to try. Okay, that's a nat 1, so you are going to get away without it hitting you. You could regroup with the rest of everyone, unless you want to go to where Ravi is. He's a little bit separated, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to where Ravi is.
Okay. He's got like holy warriors encircling him. The spirit.
Oh yeah, I feel safe with him.
Clerics and paladins.
Ravi, my love, I'm coming to you.
All right.
I got a question. for the DM.
That's normally that's who it's. You don't always have to specify that's for me.
Okay.
You could specify it was for somebody else, but I always assume when you have a question that it's
All
you
right.
that you're asking.
So the tree that these blobs came out from
Yeah.
is unharmed?
I mean, it's like splintered a little bit, and obviously there must have been somewhere inside of there for it to be, but it's still a living tree. It's still standing there.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Luna.
Oh, she's with the group. She's staying with the group.
Kriv, then. Kriv, who would have been a bird and is not.
I'm gonna try to back, I guess, towards everyone else. Call out. I think we should just leave, guys. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna do that, and then, oh gosh, we're all just kind of grouped now, aren't we? Isn't that what we just did?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. For funsies, I will throw a firebolt at it.
All right, which one? So there's one devouring the body, and then there's one that was attacking Harvestan.
The one attacking Harvestan?
Sure. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Spell attack.
Do I still add my spell thing if it's a cantrip? I always forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very rarely that you'll make an attack roll and not add anything to it.
Okay, 17.
Okay, 17 is enough to hit it. Fire out a little bolt of fire. You're used to that not hitting things. This time it's a big blob, an easy target, and you nail it.
Oops, I didn't read that full spell. That's alright. That's 5 damage.
Okay.
I didn't read about the flammable part, but it's fine.
It's okay. This thing's not flammable.
Unfortunate.
The jungle is wet enough that you shouldn't worry about burning the whole jungle down.
That's fair.
Okay, Hajite will be next.
Let's use poison spray again.
Let it ride. Why not? Went well. Try that con save. Now that is going to save this time with a 19.
Wow. That's too bad. I do think that we should just walk away though, so doesn't seem that complicated.
Question again.
Yeah.
Do I have to wait for my turn to be able to make a perception check or no?
I will call a check from you if I want one, and I'll have you wait till your turn. I mean, it's up. It depends. If I tell you to roll one, then you'll roll one.
Okay. Because I was just wondering about. I wanted to make a perception check and see if the tree where the blobs came out from is any different from the other trees around.
We'll wait till your turn.
Okay.
Anything else from Hajite?
Nope.
Okay.
Just wanted to say I want to leave.
Hajite wants to leave. Gideon has warned you not to touch these things. Robbie's doing well against them. He seems to be suited for this. Kriv is hitting with spells. Shell is next, and Shell is going to make a grapple check on Hajite. So, strength, athletics, or dexterity, acrobatics, Hajite.
Okay.
Whichever you prefer. You have to beat a 19.
Oh my god.
Choose your highest.
17.
Oh.
Shell picks you up with her beak. She turns her neck around and places you on her back. and she runs.
Okay.
She goes 50 feet, her full movement speed, away from the things.
Okay. Okay.
Hey guys, I think that's our cue.
We're leaving.
Follow the leader, right?
I mean, Shell is like, I can't do anything. I'm getting out of here, and Hajate's coming with me, basically.
Oh, I'm on a journey.
Gideon is next. He'll say, if we could stop them here, we should. We can remove the threat from the village, but I'll leave it up to you. I can safeguard your escape, if you prefer. He draws his sword, and he sort of stands there stalwart. He's letting you guys decide. You can keep fighting, but if you run away, he'll cover you. Then the blobs of sap will go next. The one that ate that rotten piece of meat next to the dead body reaches up and partially covers that older Omni woman. You could see it kind of like stretches, like ooze, like silly putty over like half of her, and then kind of pulls back. You could see it like sizzles when it touches her, and as it pulls away, it exposes her skull on the side of her face. She's just eaten all of the flesh off of her bones there. As it pulls off, it's pulling like one of her front legs. And it kind of like stretches, and as it stretches, the muscles pull, and the tendons stretch out, and that acid dissolves them until they snap and just pull into the blob itself and then disappear.
Is it within 15 feet of me?
Yeah.
Okay, it has to make a will save.
Both of them. Let's see, I got a 14 and a 17.
17 will succeed, 14 will not. So the one that succeeded will take 8 damage, the other one will take 16.
Okay. They seem sort of unperturbed by that. They have a kind of a mindless, ravenous whatever's going on. They don't seem to be thinking, feeling beings as they get damaged by that. The other one, I guess looking for the easier meal, the most injured among you is Arvistan. And it's going to try to...
Can it get there with its speed halved?
Its speed halved. Let's see. No. It can't get close enough. It's going to come for you, Arvistan, but thankfully Ravi's spirit guardians are slowing it down. It tries to like crawl its way through these magical forces, and it's getting buffeted the whole way as it goes.
All right.
That was the one that succeeded on the saving throw, so it's like pushing to get closer to you. Ravi, your turn is next.
I'm going to back up, so it is kind of just at the edge of my spirit guardian radius, and then attack it again.
All right.
I don't think a 13 gets there, does it?
Absolutely does. A big, slow blob of muck.
All right, 14 more damage.
Extra 14 damage. If you're familiar with The Raft, it's like a Stephen King short story. They did a little like film of it in like an anthology film. It's that. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's cool. Kind of spooky. Okay, then it'll be Arvistan's turn. Arvistan, that one is gunning for you.
How far is it from me?
10 feet away.
Gunning at half speed.
It's moving at 10 feet every 6 seconds through these spirit guardians.
Okay, cool. I am going to move towards Ravi.
Robbie's not far
And
away.
I took like 5 feet. I took like literally like a step
Yeah.
backwards.
okay, I'm going to move around 20 feet behind Ravi. And I'm
Sure.
gonna drop 5 feet in front of the blob my spike growth on it.
Slow it down even more.
Yes.
Okay.
To slow it down and hopefully
Screw that. Yeah.
take
If
damage.
you're running away, why not make this thing
Exactly.
barely move?
So it has
You're
to.
trying to arrange this thing in such a way that you're not slowing your friends either, right? Like you don't want the
No, no,
ghosts
no.
to
Yeah,
appear underneath
exactly.
them. Okay.
Yeah, because it's 150 feet, I think. Radius.
That's the
No, wait.
range of it, but it's a
That's
20 foot
yeah,
radius.
that's a range. It's a
You
20,
just
20 feet
started
radius.
growing further out,
Yeah,
so that this thing is in it, but it doesn't impact any of your companions.
exactly.
To slow it even further, a very slow moving thing has now been slowed more twice.
Yes.
Take no chances. Okay. Anything else you want to do, Arvistan?
Mm, no. And for Luna, how far is Luna and Gideon away from all this?
They're right on top of it too. Luna and Gideon are 10 feet away from the one that's eating the body, which is about 20 feet away from the one that was coming for you. Although that one's moved 10, so it's about 10 feet away from either one now.
Okay, I just command Luna to follow Hashote and be safe.
Okay. On Luna's turn, she's going to have to dash to catch up
Yep.
with Shell. But yeah, you'll have the wolf running next to you as Shell is fleeing. Then it'll be Kriv's turn. So Kriv, you're the only one left there with Gideon. Ravi's nearby. He's about 5 feet away, but he's moving in that direction, kind of further out.
I think I got to do the same. I will do another firebolt and just try to back up.
Okay. We're firebolting body, ooze, or the other one. Arvistan's pursuer.
Harvestand's pursuer.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and make spell attack roll.
Gosh, that rolled for so long. That is 25.
25. Real close one, but it is going to be a hit.
Don't worry, though, it's 2 damage.
By close, I mean a lot higher than you needed. 2 damage?
Oh, wait. It increases when I'm higher level, not when I cast it at higher level.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
So I'm gonna roll another one because I only rolled one of those.
Should be 2d10, right?
Yeah, that's not what I did earlier.
It's okay.
Whoop.
So 2 and
4.
for 6. Okay.
I think we should just leave this one, guys.
Do you keep running, or are you just keeping pace with Ravi as he slowly backs up?
I mean, I'll probably go a little faster than Ravi, but I just whatever my maximum is from there.
Sure. You start heading out. You're following Arvistan and Hajite and the others.
Yeah, can I? Where it is that my max distance? Can I like stop there to like turn back to see if they're coming?
Yeah, Gideon was waiting to see what everyone else was going to do, and since everyone else is moving, when he has the opportunity, he's going to start moving also. It's up to Ravi exactly what he wants to do.
I just don't want to like sprint away and not look back. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, you're
That's
not
all.
abandoning everyone. You don't have to worry about that.
That's Shell's thing.
Hajite, you are on the back of Shell when your turn comes around. You are 50 feet away from Gideon and the others. The other people are coming after you, but they're nowhere near as fast as you are on Birdback.
Oh yeah, she's fast. I wasn't prepared to very quickly ride a bird. So would you say I'm 60 feet away from the blob things?
Yeah, either one. Exactly 60 feet, in fact.
Do you think I'd be able to cast Shatter without hitting people?
Shatter.
That is a 60-foot range.
I think we can make it happen. Ravi is over there, but he's not on top of them. The only one that's closest is Gideon. But I think we can get it just past him and not hit him also. And get both blobs. Now, I'll warn you, shattering both blobs will also shatter that woman's body. If you're okay with that. She is already dead.
Were we concerned about that?
It's up to you. I don't know if Hajite was concerned about that. It seems not, given what you just said.
I mean,
Somebody might be concerned. I don't know.
it already got her. We can't get her out.
There's a certain amount of respect that Gideon has shown the body so far, but she is partially dissolved right now. She's that seems to be. I mean, unless something else happens, that seems to be exactly how it's going to end.
Yeah, I don't think I could get her body if I wanted to.
You're welcome to shatter, though. If
I'm
you'd
quite
like.
far away. Interesting. Can I strike only the other one?
Yeah, you could do that if you want.
Sick. Quick question. Did the acid seem to dissolve her skeleton?
Not yet.
But that's something that I could potentially do.
Well, I'd say to speak specifically, it ripped off one of her front legs and dissolved that entirely. So you definitely think it's capable of dissolving her skeleton. The reason I say not yet is because I think you may be referring specifically to her skull, which it has not yet dissolved.
No.
Just in case you were. The skull is still intact.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I would like to destroy the other one.
Okay. It'll make a Constitution saving throw. It's going to save, so it's going to take half damage here.
What a jerk. Let's see.
20 on a Constitution save.
Let's catch.
These things are rolling well, better than I normally do.
extra jerkish. Okay, I was gonna do. We'll just do third level. Why not? Everyone seems to be staying behind, and people aren't fleeing. I mean, Luna is.
Everybody's kind of fleeing, but they're not doing it the Shell way, where you like run away. Crib's kind of like clearly moving away, and Arvistan also. Ravi's going very slow though.
Three. Ah, yes, there are 4. Ten.
10? Is that already cut in half, or do I have to cut that?
It would have to be cut.
Okay, that'll be 5.
Super low.
That's right. You could see there's like a bang over there. A loud noise comes out, and there's like a splash of this like black tar sap up in the air, and it kind of lands in like little droplets in different areas, and they kind of just slowly absorb themselves back together into one whole. Anything else from Hajite? Do you want to try to dismount?
I want to try to slow her down at least. Ideally, stop her,
That's some animal handling.
but at least slow her down. Animal handling. Oh man, I'm not gonna look out twice. She's got some. I don't have great animal handling. That would be a 6.
All right. She's not listening to you.
That's fair.
She's
Apparently
not
I'm
bucking
not
you
right.
off, though, so there's at least that.
That's true.
And luckily, Shell's turn is next. She's going to use a dash action
Shell.
to move double speed, which is 100 feet away. So she has taken you. You are now fully 160 feet away from the foes, well outside of combat. She'll slow down at that distance.
Okay. Now that we're safe.
Now that you're safe. Gideon's going to back up to Ravi and attempt to keep pace with him. He'll say to you, Ravi, do you think it'll be enough?
I don't know. Do you think I'm hurting him?
I think it's worth trying. Whatever we're doing seems to be at least affecting that one. And I'll gesture towards the one that's not eating a body right now.
Then let's keep at it. Try to keep just outside of its range.
Yeah, so he'll stay with you, Ravi. They will go next. They have to make their wisdom saves. They both rolled 7s. So they both failed.
15 damage to each.
All right. You will see that the one that is not eating the woman fizzles, bubbles, and it kind of like bursts in a few different places, like, and then kind of like flattens out and then sinks into the floor and disappears. Leaving the other one remaining. This one will completely envelop the deceased woman and sort of sit on top of her as it starts to dissolve her. So at this point, everyone else has moved far away. The question is going to be, and it's going to be posed to Ravi since his turn is next, are we going to stay here and try to destroy this remaining slime ball thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stay within 15 feet of it, kind of keep around it if it starts coming at me, but otherwise I'm going to keep whacking it and go from there. So I'll make my attack. That's a 15.
That is enough.
That'll be 10 points of damage.
All right. How long does Spirit Guardians last?
10 minutes.
Okay. At this point, with the current strategy, as long as this thing is at half speed within Ravi's Spirit Guardians, if he maintains his distance, it cannot catch him. And over the course of 10 minutes, much less than 10 minutes really, the Spirit Guardians will eventually whittle it away until it's destroyed. We could say that Armstrong and Kriv contribute with their own spells, maybe casting some cantrips, just to kind of speed up the rate of that happening. Gideon does not get himself involved. Luna and Hajite and Shell stay far away from the battle, but eventually you do totally destroy it. After it is gone, you can see that that woman's body is also gone.
Can I make a perception check out and see and check that?
Check the trees, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
that
ahead.
tree.
Just a little visual check to look at the tree and see if they see anything different about it.
13 plus. 13 plus 5, that'll be 18, right?
Uh, you look at it. There are minor differences. It looks like sort of the cracks in between on the bark. Uh, I don't know the terms for the spaces in between bark, but that.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It seems like a little wider. It seems like it's kind of crackled the tree, but it's not anything super significant. Not anything that you'd see at a glance on a passing tree. You'd have to inspect it very closely to be able to notice that, like you're doing right now. You look
What?
around like you do a cursory glance, like if you just turn around and look in a swath at the trees behind you, knowing that the other one is the one that Crib was looking at, that the other ooze came out of. Just look sweeping past it with your eyes. It doesn't look any different. You'd have to really get up close and inspect it to notice that anything was different about it.
Now, for future reference, knowing this, if we keep on traveling through the forest and all this stuff like this, and I keep my eye on those sort type of trees, can I actually distinguish?
Looking at this now, you think at a travel pace, you won't be able to tell if a tree
Okay.
has one of these things in it or not. Now,
Okay.
what you do know from the fight that you just had is that they're slow. It took them a little bit, a few seconds to emerge from the tree to be able to do anything. You think that if you're moving, you could probably outpace them if it came to that, if something like this happened again, as long as you're not trapped in any way.
Okay. And is there any signs that there's any more blobs or anything like that in this tree? Where they came out from?
You don't know.
Okay. And it's only those like, oh, can I just call them like the rivets,
Sure.
wherever they came out? That's the only significant difference. There's no like
Yeah, and it's barely
discoloration.
perceptible. It's barely significant. The tree doesn't seem to have been negatively impacted.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Gideon is visibly distraught, although he doesn't say anything. He rushes out to call to Hajite. You're heading the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
We've
Shell,
got to go this direction from here.
it's gone now. Can we go back?
Shell wants to go back and start going the right way, but Shell also doesn't want to be told what to do. So she's going to try to make it look like it was her idea. She's going to do a little deception on everybody. Oh. Well, it's a -3, but that still gives her a 15.
Wow. Wow.
Now, she's not, yeah, I mean, it's obvious to everybody, but that's really just to show, how well she's doing to try to convince you that it was her idea. She knows which way to go. And this was all part of the plan to do this.
Oh,
And it's kind of stupid to just like go that way and not like double back and do this kind of thing, because this is what you would really do if you were smart.
Yeah. That's fair.
But she doesn't kick you off, Hajite. She insists on keeping you in the saddle.
Okay. All right. I'm going to trust her for now and I guess pet her on the neck lightly. Tell her she's being good.
Luna trots back alongside. Actually, she doesn't do like Shell does and try to meander around. She makes a beeline back for Arvistan. And she's going to lick your wounds, Arvistan, your like acidic burn wounds,
Oh.
Oh.
to try to help you. It stings a little bit, but it's not
Yeah.
anything that hurts really bad.
Ouch. Ouch. Thank you. Thank you. Ow.
see that the parts of your armor that have burned away have exposed not only your elven skin, but also parts of your tree self. You're looking rough. It's also burned part of Crib's armor, but it makes you kind of look cool. I guess it makes Arvistan kind of look cool too because he got burned a little bit more, but it's like scars look cool. So you've got like battle tattered armor now. And Gideon will sort of turn around as he sees Shell and Hajite returning, and he walks past Ravi and just starts walking in the direction you're supposed to be going.
Oh.
All right, I guess that means let's go back to the little town.
Oh, he's not going that way.
Oh, okay.
Our journey continues.
All right, let's go.
Okay, and from here we'll be moving forward. Gideon's going to lead you. I'll have him make a little survival check. He's distracted.
Oh no.
Can I make a check to see if he's distracted?
Make an insight check.
18.
Obviously, something about the recent fight has perturbed him.
I'll like. Are we still single file due to brush and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. But that's for convenience's sake. I mean, there's a chance that you could, like, if you're like hopping over roots and branches and things, that you could get up next to get in. He's also the largest of your group, so he takes up the most space. Or you could just follow behind him within earshot of him if you wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, I would kind of try to get behind, pretty close behind him. You okay there, big guy?
It's not right.
What's not right?
There was no cultural or religious significance to that method.
I think at times survival takes precedence. As a man of faith, it's not necessarily something that I like to do, but on a few different occasions, I found myself in situations that I may not have acted exactly as I would have otherwise.
It was foolish of them to do that. They're simply creating an area that will draw oozes closer to the village. If they had continued on that course, they would have made their way there and wiped them off the map.
You're right.
But I suppose they didn't have anything else to do. If I had been there sooner, I could have steered them from that course of action.
No one can be everywhere at once.
It feels like we should.
I think it's important to do our best to help those that we can and recognize that as good as our intentions may be, we'll never be able to help everybody.
How do they regard you in Karenia, Ravi?
I'm something of a pariah at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, my name is disgraced. I have essentially gone into hiding and have inherited large amounts of debt.
Were you something of a public figure before that?
The son of a public figure.
So people looked up to you.
I guess it depends upon your meaning. I think people at times looked at me enviously because I came from a wealthy family. I do not think that they looked at me as a leader or as something worthy of admiration, if that's what you mean.
So you'd say if you walked into a Karenian village, the children didn't play with you.
No, that I would say that's a good way of putting it.
I know it may seem idyllic from the outside. Um, I don't know how people view me from Karenia, but I know how they think of me here. And it has a certain pressure connected to it. I'm not sure if you'd understand if you hadn't experienced it.
I think you're right. Even as we walk about now, a lot of us, I think, are feeling pressures for any number of things, but fame and the need to keep up the appearance of a hero probably isn't one of them.
Do you think they'll regard you as heroes when you return, with a Mochipan army at your back?
I think some will. I think a lot of them will dole out credit to themselves, and or will pay a lot of money to make sure that they get the credit, whether it's warranted or not.
I wouldn't trade my life for any other. My responsibilities are part of the reason I go on living. And I should hope, if you should find yourself in a similar position, that you not take them lightly, and that you, despite their difficulty, learn to appreciate people relying on you.
I'll try. Thank you. I almost wish you had been there to give Freyr the same little talk.
I can't speak to Freyr, but I can tell you I know how it feels to think you failed. It never goes away, but you have to keep trying.
That makes sense. I hope you find it to forgive yourself. Um, you have been nothing but kind to us, and you have been honorable through and through to this point, and at least where I stand, I have seen nothing less than a hero myself.
And I have one more person to live up to. And he sort of straightens up a little bit. He lifts his head. He kind of shakes out his mane. You could see those braids kind of flail around a little bit. He hasn't taken them out or anything. And then he sort of proudly starts to lead everyone forward into the jungle. I think that's where we're going to call it for this week. Sorry about your AC, Kriv and Arvistan. That's pretty rough.
Now, is this something that's able to be fixed? Like getting it to somebody to like patch it up and stuff like that,
You'd
or
need
not?
somebody, yeah, like a blacksmith or an armorer to help you
Okay.
with it,
Okay.
to repair your armor. But until you get that, yeah, it's messed
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Or you need to get it replaced. But you guys are flush with cash, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Can I just say it was my +1 shield and just like ditch it?
Sure.
Nice.
It drops off.
I was gonna say that, and then you said I looked extra cool now, and I was like, maybe I should.
You still look kind of. It still tears into your armor a little bit, but not in any structurally damaging way. So that the rest of the armor still works. It just has those little
Perfect.
kind of like burns on
That makes sense.
it. Yeah, nearly at Tempe now. About to learn some new stuff. Seems pretty fun. How does it feel? Now, this is the first time. A lot of you are pretty new to Dungeons and Dragons. This is a variation of an extraordinarily classic enemy. How was your first time encountering an ooze?
You think that those are freaking like simple to kill, but goddamn, if you don't have anything to to battle it
We didn't
with,
even really get into where it gets crazy.
yeah,
Which is pretty cool.
and no, it's not fun. It's not fun. At least for me, it's not fun.
I thought it was fun.
I'm a big fan of oozes. They're solid.
Like,
Actually, they're not.
like it's not fun because it's poisonous. I don't know if all of them. I'm guessing there's
Not
different
poison.
variation of them.
It's acid, really, which is different than poison. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, acid. Sorry, acid. Like
I poisoned the acid.
if I use my daggers, it'll melt it.
Yeah.
And the arrow's
Is it
gonna
dirty?
go into it and it's gonna melt it. I don't know if it'll do damage to
I don't want
it.
to tell you everything that was happening because maybe we'll fight more oozes. And maybe
Yeah,
we're gonna
exactly.
Find out, but
I'll have to try it out next time.
they're pretty
But
fun. Watch The Raft.
Yeah.
That's what you fought. It's a fun little short.
The Raft.
I forgot
Okay.
the name of the anthology movie, but it's like a section of it. It's like a
Okay.
bunch of Stephen King short stories. Like little
Ah.
adaptations, but it's like a bunch of college kids go swim out to this raft, and there's like a floating pile of like garbage
Uh-huh.
that like stalks them.
I think
Okay.
Creep Show 2.
There you
Is
go.
that-
Huh.
Check
All right.
It's probably my go-to depiction of oozes in film. Next week, I don't know if we're playing. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know.
That's fair.
Maybe not.
Look at Hashate with some oozing her hands.
That's the stuff. Yeah.
This.
Yep. Kind of like that. So next week, I don't know if we'll be able to play. The week after that is Thanksgiving. We definitely won't be then. So we may see you next week. My players, I will let you know whether or not that is going to be happening. For if you're somebody that's watching this right now, Scout's parents, or if there's somebody else somehow by some miracle, just check. If we're there, we're there. If we're not, then whatever. Do something else.
Yeah,
Just
just follow the Twitter.
Oh,
Just check.
Yeah, follow the Twitter.
Because I could change the schedule on Twitch, but I don't want to. Yeah, or Twitter and Facebook say that stuff, but I don't think anybody actually looks at that stuff anyway. Just look. I don't know. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, we might be back in December, I guess. Is that far away?
Not really. We're almost halfway.
Yeah. We may be doing next week. I don't know for certain yet.
Alrighty.
So until then, thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for playing with my oozes. And Jason, thanks for getting hit by them a lot. That was more fun.
God, no. Okay, I'll say it. You're welcome.
I needed that boost because I've missed with a lot of my enemies, and I was glad that the super slow nothing one actually was able to connect with people. Yeah, until next time, that's another episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye bye.